We're at the end of January here and finally got a little break in the weather. It had been really frigid cold and snowy for a while, and we got a bit of a thaw. So I figured I'd use this window to try to polish off this pallet shed structure. And so now it's done enough that it's good for the winter, and so I'm going to go over how it all worked out. So stick around. I'm going to link throughout this video to the first, second, and third videos, which go over the process chronologically of how this was put together. And but now I'd say this is finished. I'm sure that I'm going to modify and add things to it. Overall, I would venture a guess, I didn't keep really close track, but I would venture a guess between $20 and $30, maybe as much as $40, if I account for reusing old screws that I bought originally. And overall, I'm quite pleased. I have 6mm greenhouse poly on the roofing for it, which I'll link to this in the description below, but I buy I buy offcuts of high quality greenhouse plastic for various projects. And in fact, you can see I've got our cattle panel greenhouse over here, same material. So it's UV stabilized 6mm 4-year poly from A.M. Leonard Poly Remnant Sale. So again, I'll check in the description for a link to that. I really like what they offer. It's probably about $15 worth of really good quality new poly in the roof, which should last quite a while. And you can see what I've done is made these little extensions just to give me a little bit of extra protection. Made a really dumb design decision that I have to figure out how to work with, where the water pools in here. I didn't get it taut enough, so I can either try again to get it tighter. For now, I put some wood in there. I may put some spans through or kind of reassess, but that's the only real design flaw that I'm seeing so far. I'm sure there'll be plenty more. And you can see it extends just a little bit on this side, which I've found over time, just that little bit helps the drip stay away from the structure. Driving rain can still get in a little bit here or there, but that really makes a difference in protecting from rain. And on the low side, I thought originally I was going to design for rainwater collection, and I may come back to that, but I simply have it battened down. Looking at this now, I regret a little bit doing the roofing on my own. My wife was downtown on the day that I was working on this. I should have waited for her to be around. I didn't get it as tight as I would have liked, but I think it should be fine. And I took some photos as I went along so you can see that process. And I could always add a little bit more battening on the roof if it feels like it's floppy. And you can see on the back end here I added an extra panel of poly, and I'll explain why in a moment here. So this is the middle bay, and that's the poly there that I just showed. And part of the reason why I wanted to do it was, first of all, if really heavy winds wanted to drive rain or snow in here, I wanted to protect this bay, because this is kind of like a little mini garage workshop space. You can see I'm storing some wood out here, my wife's bicycle. We've got a fair amount of the tools really simply mounted with little offcut slices of pallet that hold them up, keeping them nice and organized. I've got some wood splitting gear in the corner, and then this side I've got mason bee trays that I talked about that in another video. I have them curing out here. I've got some old beer cans that I'm using to make my aluminum tags, which I talk about in yet another video, and storing some material to make biochar out of as well. And I figured I could migrate some things. Our garage is super cramped, so if I could protect this space enough, and it feels like it really should not get any moisture in there, that'll be a really nice, useful place to store things and have a little mini workspace. And in this bay, you can see it's still a little not as organized as I'd like just yet, but I'm queuing up all my birdhouses and some mason bee homes to go out. I've got these straps on the top, very high hot solar gain point where I can cure wood for kindling or for biochar production, and I'm starting to load this side with firewood for next year. So this will take 6 more courses of wood. Should be just shy of what we need for a whole winter, since we do not use a tremendous amount of wood. And again, the design idea was such, basically constrained to what we have available in the driveway here. One full bay packed to the gills will service us for a winter, and the other one can cure, and so this way we can fill one and take from one and bounce back and forth. So this is the one which we'll use for the rest of this winter. We got our wheelbarrows in there, so it's easy to move that material into the garage. So I'm really pleased with how it came out. For the price, I can't beat it, really. And one other bonus thing I put in here is on the west side, made some little extensions, really simple extensions with some 14 gauge fencing wire drawn real taut to help span and support. And so it's like a little awning, and I'm going to build out some lots and lots of framing here to store lumber to cure and dry. Stuff that's mainly for the garden, but it's a little bit messy now, but I'm just starting to queue up some stuff and let it dry out. So there you have it. There's the pallet shed after a couple good sessions. I didn't really keep very close track of time. It was pretty pleasurable to make, so it wasn't like I was crunching numbers on that, but definitely a good 20 hours or so, and about, let's say, $40 in parts to have this structure. Pretty happy with it. So let me know what you think and share some notes. What could have been better, what could have been worse, and yeah, what you've made out of pallets as well. And thank you for watching.